Today, you will be learning all about the muscular system. Let's get started. What is the purpose of our muscular system? Well, as you may already know, the purpose of our muscular system is to work with our skeletal system together to help our body move. There are two different ways muscles in the human body work. The first way is voluntary, and the second way that muscles in our body work, involuntary. Let's take a look closer as to what these words mean. When I see the word voluntary, I see the word volunteer. And when we volunteer to do something, we are choosing to do that activity. So these are things that are in our control. For example, the bones in our arms work with the muscles to help you raise your hand. You volunteer to raise your hand, you're choosing to raise your hand, that is in your control. So those are voluntary muscles in your arm that help you raise your hand. When we see the word involuntary, I think of not volunteer. And when you don't volunteer to do something, you're not choosing to do it. It just does it by itself. So involuntary muscles are ones that work without you having to think about them. You don't have control over them. For example, the nerves in your body move throughout your whole body without you even knowing they're happening. Or food moves through your digestive system, your intestines right here. These muscles push the food throughout your intestines by themselves. You don't even have to think about it. It does it by itself. Those are involuntary muscles in your digestive system. There are three types of special muscles that we have in our body. The first is skeletal muscle, and as you can imagine, it's found along our skeleton. We have smooth muscle, and then we also have cardiac muscle. And as you may recall, we've talked about the fact that cardiac, or anything cardio related, is related to your heart. So your cardiac muscle is just that, your heart. Again, here's a picture of your heart. And this is what the muscle looks like inside of your heart. And the only cardiac muscle we have in our body is our heart. Skeletal muscle, as I mentioned before, is found along your skeleton. So you can see this figure's arm covered in muscle. And that is skeletal muscle that is lining your skeleton, that is attached to your bones. Then we also have smooth muscle. Smooth muscle is typically found in our digestive system. Smooth muscle is the involuntary muscle that is in our body. This involuntary muscle then helps push food through our digestive system, like our esophagus, our stomach, small and large intestine. All of those are examples of smooth muscles that are involuntary. We do not have control over them. What is another type of involuntary muscle that we have in our body? Our heart, of course. So our heart and our digestive system are involuntary. Our heart beats and pumps by itself. We don't even have to think about it. It just happens. Whereas our skeletal muscle that is attached to our bone, we choose to move them. So therefore, this is voluntary muscle because we volunteer to move our arms and legs, and that is considered to be voluntary when we choose to move them. So we have two sets of involuntary muscle and voluntary muscle in our skeletal system. I hope you enjoyed learning about our muscular system. Be sure to watch the Brain Pop and Kids Health video as well.